In April 2023, I spent a week by myself in Saigon. If you were to ask me why, I still don't think I could give you a straight answer. I was in a healthy relationship. I had close friendships and a good living situation. I had a cat who I loved and a therapist. But more than anything, I wanted to be on my own, as far away from all of that as possible. A year prior, I had bought flights for a trip that never went ahead. Instead of refunding me, the airline gave me $600 in flight vouchers. I had forgotten about them until last week, when they emailed me to say they would expire soon. I figured I'd better use them, so I found the cheapest international flights possible, Melbourne to Saigon, and bought them that afternoon. If I was frugal about my living arrangements and didn't eat too much, I could go for a week and it would only cost me a few $100. I called in sick to work and left a few days later. There is only a 3-hour time difference, and yet I feel jet-lagged immediately. So much so that I sleep through every day and only go out at night. It's cooler once the sun goes down anyway. I don't have to worry about sweating through one of the 2 outfits I packed. To be both foreign and purposeless in a place so drastically different from your own home is not as bad as it might sound. You can wander the streets all night and not have to worry about bumping into anyone you know. You can ignore the local cuisine and eat exclusively at convenience stores, and no one will even wonder why. You might be watching this thinking, gee, this sure is pathetic, or this guy is really giving me the creeps. He leaves his great life to go to Vietnam for a week and walk around by himself at night. But I can assure you I am a normal guy. I was even able to make a couple friends during my stay. By the time I was typically getting out of bed, most people were heading out to dinner. Around the corner from my room was a small family restaurant where I would often find an American and a Russian drinking together. I decided to join them one night. The American had been living in Saigon for over 2 years. He refused to tell me his name, but he did have some interesting opinions he wanted to share with me.
Like, they're arguing about, like, whether a mermaid is black. It's like black and it's like a half fish, you know? Like, that's a big debate. It's like, well, I mean, back in my day, the mermaid wasn't black. It's a fucking half fish.
You talking about the Little Mermaid?
He told me he had gone to medical school in California, but had dropped out during the last semester after realizing that what he wanted to do more than anything was to put his professor on the floor and stand on his neck until he choked. He seemed to be somewhere between 30 and 1,000, and drunker than anyone had ever been before.
All right. How long has it been since you were in America?
That's the last time my mom slapped me.
Is that why you came to Vietnam?
I was done with medical school and I was like, you're gonna be like a farewell of a doctor, because you're just a big fucking alcoholic, and it doesn't matter how many drugs you do and how much you study, you should not be taking care of the people.
Real punk rocker. I like it.
I don't deserve to be a doctor.
Why? It's good. It's good profession.
No, I deserve to fucking sail on a fucking ship and like take pictures of insects.
So, why did you want to do it in the first place?
Because mom told me to.
How often are you drinking?
Not as often as I should be smoking.
You have friends here.
I've got exes.
No, you have friends here.
I've got like the KGB.
You've got. No, I don't care about KGB. I care about friends. Do you have friends
What's
here?
the difference?
And so,
No, we can go right in there. We can walk right in there and be like.
No, wait. Do you have friends in Vietnam? Real friends?
You don't know what I'm going to say next, so it's not a simulation because I identify you as an individual animal and you identify me as an individual animal.
The next day, I started to worry my time in Saigon would come to an end without having done anything particularly special, so I decided to book a fancy dinner cruise for one. This decision came mostly because I found a half-price coupon on a website called Travel Loco, but I was still glad to be doing something. After boarding, I quickly realized, however, that I was the only person on the boat dining alone, and that I had been sat at a table by myself next to a large group of children and parents celebrating a 9-year-old's birthday party. They were all dressed to the nines, and I was wearing the same sweaty t-shirt and pants I had worn the day before. To add to this, I also seemed to be the only other person dining in the same room as them. The crew had planted me in the back corner of the boat, as far away from anyone as possible. I had the sense that they would have preferred to just throw a sheet over me and pretend I wasn't there at all, and I didn't blame them. I ate quickly and spent the rest of the boat ride on the deck, thinking about my new American friend. I thought, for a long time, about how we had absolutely nothing in common, that I couldn't relate to any of his stories, and that by the time I reach my 30s, I can say with certainty that my life will be very different to his. I slept very well that morning. The week ended quickly and without fuss or any real sense of meaning. On my final night in Saigon, I was stopped in the hall of my boarding house by the manager named Hai. He was young, probably early 30s, and asked me how the room had been. I told him it had been fine and that I'd had a nice day. He asked if I'd been to a particular district of the city, and when I answered that I hadn't even left the district we were currently in, he told me to come downstairs with him. "I will take you to dinner," he said. And so I climbed on the back of the stranger's motorbike, and we left right away. We drove for nearly half an hour, Hai steering us through the thick air, and me inches behind him, to the neighborhood he was born in, studied in, and lived in. We sat on small plastic chairs next to a charred black barbecue on the street, and he ordered in Vietnamese. "You'll like this," he told me, and I did. We ate pork, rice, and vegetables, and he told me about how he had bought the boarding house after working his entire life, hoping it would make some money so he could move north. I asked him what was up north, and he told me a man. He didn't speak any more about this, and I didn't ask. He asked me about Australia, and did I like it there? I told him yes. He asked me why, then, did I come to Vietnam? I told him I was here for work, that I was a documentary filmmaker, that I had been sent here by a media company in Australia, and that I had a very important work to do. I would return to Melbourne tomorrow and be thanked for all the wonderful footage I was able to capture in only a week. And before too long, I would be shipped off to another foreign place to do it all over again. My work is very exciting, I told him. It's very fulfilling. I have a good life back home. I'm in a healthy relationship. I have close friends and a good living situation. I have a cat who I love and a therapist. I sleep in a big bed and I have lots of books that I can read whenever I want. I feel good all the time, and if I don't feel good, I go for a walk or eat an apple. Sometimes I feel very strange, but I can't tell you about it. Not because I don't know how, but because I just can't. He nodded along, we finished our dinner, and he drove me back to my room. I slept, and I got a cab to the airport, and I went home.